welcome to my channel. This is Jayke Games. I am your host, Jayke, and today we are going to be playing NBA Jam for the arcade, one of my all-time favorite basketball games. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight to it. Alright, here we go. Welcome back, NBA Jam. About to jump right into it. One of my favorite games right here. I love this arcade version. When I used to, I had this on Super Nintendo. I had this on Sega Genesis. I did not have it on Game Boy. But yeah, I used to play this all the freaking time, I tell you. And one of the reasons why I like this game is because, hang time, God, it has that rubber banding on it. I can't stand that. I don't like it. Let me turn that down. Now, one of the things I don't like is it has that rubber band and hang time. And so if you like blowing out your opponent, the computer per se, all they're gonna do to try to catch up is obviously just shoot threes, chuck. And then once they get close enough, and then they'll hold back, and start dunking and shooting twos and all of that. But on here, actually, you can actually blow them out, which is always fun because I like blowouts. But I mean, I could tolerate hang time. I have hang time as well. I could definitely play that. I like that as well. So, but yeah, this is one of my favorite games right here on arcade. Favorite basketball games. God, one of the reasons why is because when we were small, me and my bro back in the day, and like I said, to me, basketball is, not the same in my opinion because of, all the people I used to watch, they're all retired and stuff like that. That's always sad. You can't do nothing about that, right? Time goes on, and it is what it is. But back in the day, these are the players that I've watched, and when we were smaller, we only had one television in the house. If anybody remembers, back in the day, they had double headers, and then they had triple headers to basketball. And so, my mom was a huge basketball fan, and you got to sit down there and with her and watch the game. You can't. Like I said, that was on the television, and and I didn't like coloring books, but yeah, we had game magazines and stuff like that, but that can only get you far. It'll open up your imagination. Like, man, I want this game now. I want this. Oh, what is this? So anyway, we would have to, sit through all the games and stuff like that. And, once we did that, I think for me, and I think my brother probably say the same thing, that's how we were able to, like the game, basketball, and also just know who the players were, you know what I'm saying? Stars, obviously, but even, role players as well, you know what I'm saying? I know like a lot of, role players back in the 90s and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like come on, really? And so that's pretty much how, for me, I was able to, learn, hold on right quick, who these players were, same thing with hang time as well. But yeah, it's just, and then they're older than me. They were older than me, they were you know, my mom's age, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. So yeah, you know what I'm saying, like I said, we had NBA Jam and, you know, Super and Sega, and, me and my bro would play it and stuff like that, and it was fun, you know. But, you know, when technology, you know, progresses and stuff like that, you know. And I was really happy, man, when this was on the computer. I was like, what? You know, I would always see this in the arcade, you know, back in the day, but I was just too young, you know what I mean? I couldn't even reach the joystick or nothing like that, and the buttons back in the day, so I was just, like I said, just sit back and just watch the demo, you know what I mean? And so, when this came on computer, I was like, man, I jumped on this thing so quick, man. I was like, yeah, we gotta get this. You know. By the way, I'm playing this on the keyboard, you know what I mean? I do have an arcade stick, but, you know, just never, you know, learning how to, you know, to use it, you know what I mean? You know, keyboard's comfortable to me, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, you know, we played this back in the day. You see that? I'm leading by 15, and you know they're not chucking threes. You know what I mean? That's more realistic. But you getting pushed around and stuff like that, and you're dropping the ball. So you know, I don't even know what he's doing. You see that? You see that? All right, now he's on fire. But they're not gonna block the ball. I don't know why they're not gonna block the ball. You know, they can block it. You see that right there? See that? Now it's gone. Yeah. So, like I said, back in the day, this is like the first basketball game. I had other basketball games, stuff like that. Bulls versus Blazers, Jordan versus Bird, Sega, you know, played that, you know, that was cool. I mean, it was alright. We had Magic Johnson's Super Slam Dunk. I don't know if you remember that. And I did not like that game whatsoever because, you know, I was trying to pick an NBA team, Chicago or whatever like that, and every shot I would shoot up, I would miss. But they had an all-star team, and you know what I mean, and now I'm able to make shots. So I was like, you know, that was the only team that I would pick. They had like gold jerseys, I think. That's what it was. Magic Johnson's Super Slam Dunk. You know. But yeah, you know, yeah, we had a lot of basketball games back in the day. You know, had a whole bunch of basketball games back in the day. One of my other favorite basketball games back in the day is NBA 2K for the Dreamcast. The very first installment of it, the one that came out in 1999 or whatever. That one was really good. That one was good because, you know, the graphics was a jump. You know, PlayStation 1, 64 to Dreamcast. That was a huge jump, and it was really good. I really love that game. Matter of fact, I have that game on my computer as well, and I definitely have gameplay footage of that as well on my channel because I like it so much. You know, that was when the Lakers was getting hot, you know what I mean, winning their titles back to back to back. And yeah, had that, you know, another sleeper is also, that I like was, Live 2003, I think that's the one with Jason Kidd on the front of the cover. That one was pretty good too. I like that one too. I had that on GameCube. That one was really good. I like that one. That was good. It was solid. You know, we had all kind of stuff. I mean, Live 2001. That one was cool. You know, let me see. I did play 2005 before. You know, the frame rate, it didn't sit well with me. I think the frame rate, I don't think it was 60 frames per second back in the day. You know, but I had that on GameCube. That was the one with Mello in the front of it. But I know for sure the one with Jason Key, I think that was, like I said, 2003. I think Vince Carter's on 04. But 2003, yeah, that one was 60 frames per second. I liked that game a lot. That one was pretty good. But yeah, let me see. One of my boys had 2K7. That one was good too. I liked that one. That one was the one that had Shaquille on the front when he was with the Heat. And the reason why I liked that one is because I used to always pick the 80s West, and they had, you know, you was able to shoot with the analog buttons, right? With the sticks, you know, instead of just pushing the button. And if you get it right on how you know, time your shots on there, it will always go in. It will always go in. Always go in. And plus, 80s West, they was, yeah, I would play him all the time, and he would get frustrated because I was just, you know, keep chucking threes like I'm doing now here, and they would always go in. But he did get me, you know what I mean, a lot too as well, and I got him a lot as well. But that one was a good game as well. Never had that personally, but I know when you always come over, that's what we would put into play. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so back in the day, like I said, this is how, you know, I know a lot about 90s basketball and how fun it was. You know what I mean? And I could sit and watch the whole game, you know what I mean? I don't care what team it is, you know what I'm saying? You know, now I can't do that, you know what I mean? I don't know who these people are, you know, and they're good people, they're good players, you know, but it's different now, you know, it's different, you know, it's different, you know, and I probably can't sit 5 minutes through it, you know, and so yeah, after, you know, when Shaquille retired, I think that was when, you know, I was kind of just fell off with the basketball in general, you know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, watching it on TV and stuff like that, and sitting through it, you know. He was one of my favorite players, stuff like that. You know, Kobe retired, and that really was like, yeah, that was a done deal right there, man. That was it, right there. So I was like, yep. I said, no more, you know. I don't even, you know, watch championships no more. You know what I mean? It's just not the same no more. You know. I don't know. I think that's all I gotta say about that. You know. But, I mean, it's just how it is. You know. I don't know why it is with me with basketball. You know what I mean? Like, you know, all my, you know, players are retired and, you know, they're older and stuff like that. And now I don't want to watch it no more, you know. But I mean, it's different like that with football. I don't know why it is. With football, I can definitely still, you know, sit and watch that. You know, I can definitely sit and watch that. You know, right now, you know, the whole game and stuff like that. You know, even though that's, you know, where it is now. You know, I didn't watch football until like the early 2000s, so. But yeah, I could still sit and watch that. I don't know why I can't watch basketball no more like that. I don't know what it is, but yeah, but I don't know. I'm just silly that way, I guess, though. But man, I didn't even realize we won the game. You know, my bad. I was just talking through this whole thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is it, man. This is NBA Jam for the arcade, man. One of my favorite games. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to, get on here more. You know what I mean? As far as, myself, that's the plan. You know what I mean? With some, you know, other games as well. You know what I mean? Not just sports. In the description on my channel, I know I talked about, retro and modern. You know what I'm saying? So I do have some retro, obviously, and I got modern stuff as well. But I want to balance it out. You know what I mean? Not just overwhelm you with retro. Super Nintendo, Nintendo, Sega Genesis. You know what I'm saying? I got PS5. What have you, and I want to throw some stuff on there as well. I definitely want to learn how to, jump into the FPS scene as well. Why not start with Fortnite? I got Fortnite. It's free. You never know. It might be good or it might be average. I don't know. I'm gonna jump into it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do some videos on that too. You know what I mean? Just trying to dive into something new, get my feet wet. What have you, and get destroyed, which is cool. You know what I mean? It's all good. It's just a game, right? But just try something different. You know what I mean? And then this is different for me. You know what I mean? Because I'm on here and you're seeing me. And that is me. You know what I mean? If you see my profile picture, you know what I'm saying? It is me. It is me. You see the shirt, you see the toothpick. You know what I mean? Yep, that's me. It's me. It's me. You know what I'm saying? So I am real. You know what I mean? I have a face. You know what I mean? I have a voice. But yeah, I just want to do something different. You know what I mean? Just try some new stuff. Be on here more. You know what I mean? Communicate with you guys and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I think that's about it for this video. I can't think of nothing else right now at the moment, but you know what I mean. Thanks for showing up. You know what I mean. Always, definitely want to produce. You know what I mean. Some clean content. You know what I mean, for you guys. Geniuses at work. You know what I mean. All you guys are geniuses as well. So that goes for all you guys too that are watching. You know what I mean. Not just for me. You know what I mean. Let that represent. You know what I mean. What you guys do as well in life. You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. On the jobs. You know what I'm saying. Or working. Wherever you're working in general. Just in life. You know what I mean. You're a genius as well. You know what I mean. And everybody can learn. Something from anybody. You know what I mean. Even learn something from a baby. You're geniuses. Everybody's a genius. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying. That's exactly how I see it. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys for, coming to visit. You know what I'm saying. Sitting with me, man, as I'm playing good old basketball, man. Good old NBA. So I appreciate you guys once again, for coming, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alrighty.